the Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Yo, I think it's all going. How's the audio out there? I started up a bit better than last week's anyway. Fingers crossed. I think we might actually be slightly early today. So that makes a change. We'll wait for people to show up, I guess. It's been a bit of a rough week. Lots to go over. That should be a fun show. I've got some interesting stuff to cover. Let's see, got to pin stuff here. Let's see how many people show up. YouTube highly suppressing me at the moment. I get like 1 or 2 visitors an hour at the moment. That's sort of kicked in the last few days. They don't like me again. Probably because I said something. Probably my chat with AI bot. Yeah, Pilt, how's it going up there? It's looking alright. I gotta pin that. Oh, have they changed it? Just have to look on the other screen. Something looks different on Pilled anyway. Hopefully it's all working. How's my stats going? Let's just do a refresh there. So we got 4 at the moment. We are a wee bit early by 4 minutes. Hopefully it won't be too hot today. Like last weekend, it's just got hotter and hotter in the room. And you can't have aircon on or a fan going really. Adds extra background noises that might break through. And then it gets too cold if you've got the fan above you as well, I find. Especially if you've got shorts on. I had a bit of scare last night anyway. I woke up with a numb face and numb hands and feet. I think I may have stopped breathing. This is why I need to get the sleep apnea machine, but our hospital system is overloaded and drags its heels, and it's like 6 months to a year behind the waiting lists. So perhaps I'll die before they help me. But meantime, I'm back on the carbonal diet. Hopefully we'll start losing weight again, and that always helps with the breathing. Their meds really screwed up my system for the autoimmune. Made me gain lots of weight and fluid mostly. But you got to keep drinking every day else you get dehydrated, even though you got fluid build-up. It's like a catch-22. Got to drink more to get rid of more. Which is no good if you're doing a live show, because you've got to dash off to the toilet more if that's the case. So we'll give it a couple of minutes yet. I think the CPU's holding together a bit better at the moment. You know, you heard Dr. Nolan talking about contactees that end up with autoimmune systems. Well, that's exactly what I've got, and I have been contacted, so it's just another validation that everybody always talks about their first account as like a dream. They knock it off as a dream or hallucination or just a foggy brain or something. But then other things after that makes you validate it wasn't actually a dream, it was actually real. And I think Joe Rogan might go through that same experience. It'd be funny if he gets an autoimmune problem. You know, but we have to see. We've got someone on the side from YouTube. What we got here? StoneHobbit, how's it going? The one that likes to joke in the side chats about Kermit lips again. Well, he is alien. And aliens meant to be green. They start off green and then they go grey. It's when you haven't said I'm green with envy. The usual thing. They always say you're jealous when you start exposing people. Yeah, all the chat now is about age of disclosure, which has basically sent me to sleep last night. I can't say how terrible it was, but maybe I'll talk about it in the show later. And you can see all the stupid people that are plugging it. James Fox, Jay Merger. And then you can see all the realistic people that are calling it out, especially with Sondo in it. Lucky it didn't have Stephen Greer in it, because that would have been the icing on the cake. But yeah, it's all like everything we're really seeing, clips from all places of like CNN. Really adds validness to it. CNN and clips from various interviews all strung together. It was totally boring for 2 hours. It's torture. What are you saying there? Have you watched the... Yeah, I was just talking about it. There you go, synchronicity. You agree, nothing new. Yeah, nothing new. They didn't even put in a new leaked video, did they? Unless I fell asleep during that bit. Yeah, still haven't got our regulars on. I'm not sure what's going on there. Haven't heard from them, so maybe they're just having a break from the internet. I know some were a bit worried about the new censorship controls going in. I think Australia got the age restrictions of social media. Of if you're 16 or younger, you can't get on social media anymore. and everything has to be like facial recognition now. Once that happens and they roll it out, then people will stop using the normal internet and go to the dark web. That's just, there'll be dark web chat rooms which they can't control. I'm not sure if you understand how dark web works. Basically anyone can have a dark web on a laptop, and they can just connect to any ISP service and have their laptop run as a server or a streaming platform or whatever, and people what they call that onion network, you can broadcast your IP on socials or whatever, and people can then use a special onion network connection where they can hop into that IP address and see your laptop directly. So yeah, it's like a portable website, so you don't need a man in the middle other than an ISP really to get things going. And then you connect peer-to-peer basically. It's getting more sophisticated as well, a lot more. I think the FBI have only managed to trap people that use crypto, and because they're able to work out when they stuff up by using crypto for buying stuff, and they give away their address or enough details for FBI to track them down. It's quite interesting, the whole secrecy and internet. And of course the banks want to bring in their own, well, the countries want to bring in their own digital currency as well, so they can spy on everything and shut it down, which no one wants. Everybody wants a anonymous crypto. It's a bit like when you take out money out the bank and hide it under your pillow for years, right? Because you don't want to trust it in the banks. And now if you try and cash in over $1,000 of what you've pulled out the bank over the years, they start ask questions like you're like a criminal. Especially in New Zealand, like if you did a garage sale and sold like $10,000 of crap that you stocked for most of your life, that's a pretty good garage sale though. It does happen. People do bits and pieces like that though, and if you take it to the bank and put it in, deposit into your account, it starts making red flags. And if you want to put it towards a home loan, then they start asking lots of questions. Where did that money come from? You can't tell them to shove off because you need the banks to be able to approve a loan for a house. But I've talked about that in the past. Let's see. My aliens are not green. Not green with envy, no. Man Bank, how's it going? Have you got any people on Pilled out there at the moment? How are we going for viewers here? We're up to 8 now. Every time I try and make the show available for voice chat, no one pops on nowadays, so... But I normally like to open up voice chat at the end if people want to come on and talk, you know. But I've had a lot of people attacking me, because you know how opinionated I am. I call a spade a spade. I'm a Kiwi after all. I think the StoneHobbit would know what I mean. There are a few gullibles in New Zealand though that follow Tyler-Secureteam and Blake Cousins. What do you think, Brent? The usual script. Yes, that's the best UFO video I've seen all month. Until next time they do an episode. Yeah, so I'll talk about what I've been up to this week anyway. And I've got some more appointments next week, which is going to get in the way of things. I've got to spend another probably $700 on my teeth next week. I'm going to be like dangerously low for basic cash after that. My credit card's back down to 103 credit from 1,000 already. And my bank account should just have enough to cover it at the moment, but I've lent some money, which I'm going to have to pay back there, as well as the bank, of course. Evil money makes the world go round. It certainly makes the dentists very happy anyway, and the doctors. I suppose we could probably start off. There's plenty of losers out there, yes. It's actually a single O, by the way. It's always a common spelling mistake. I used to do it. Because I come from a mixture of countries. In UK, they always put a K instead of a G on the end of things, so if I slip up, it's occasionally that I've gone back to my old ways. If I say nothing, you know I've got slipped up instead of saying nothing. But you occasionally see me trip over things. Considering for my first year and a half I was living in Germany. Actually, first 3 years I was living in Germany. The first year and a half was actually living in Scotland and Libya with the parents. Interesting life. Back then it wasn't hostile to the West, Libya. Hillary Clinton made sure it was again. Anyway, interesting. I suppose we could start now. We're over time. Looks like this is probably all we're going to get. Who else we got out there? Anybody? Got to do wagon, going to cost 1,500. Yeah, I need a large drive. I need a 20 terabyte drive because I lost my media server and I've only got one backup of it, and I just don't know about these big large drives lasting. So you need to mirror it. So I need another drive, and I need a new laptop, and I need lots of things really. Shame you couldn't get that $15 million. And I heard the person in my city won one of the slices off that 15 million, 18 million he got. And he hardly ever buys lotto tickets, he said. And I think it might have been a lucky dip. I never win on lucky dips. It's just like a kick in the guts. God will be laughing when we pass, I guess. I'll be around for a thing. Yeah, so I think I might just start off. So, I don't know if you've been watching the new season of Expedition Unknown. But the first 2 episodes were actually really, really interesting on the Great Pyramids. So let's just go through that now. I've got a thumbnail of one screen snapshot. So I do this under fair use. You might recall I've covered some of the ancient alien nonsense in the past, and what we have found out about the truth on who built South American pyramids and Egypt. But we'll just go through it now. Unfortunately, every time I talk about this stuff, there's always some sort of glitch that happens where it stuffs up the episodes. And I think last time I talked about it, I had an audio problem, so let's hope that doesn't happen again. So, there's a lot of wrong information out there, and people undermine the capabilities of humans, modern humans especially. So I'll just bring up, not sure why it's such a small window though. But yeah, these are the Great Pyramids, and we always looked at the Great Pyramid, one of the coating on the outside. Let me see if I get the right zoom. You can see that they used to coat it with bright white, is it sandstone or limestone? And it used to have like a gold cap on the very top. But obviously that's all been pillaged, and the winds, especially sandblasting, gradually knocks the coating off the side if you don't maintain it. But like any house, any painted house, eventually you have to repaint it. So, they do a fairly big intro on the second episode, which is I've taken this from. But the first episode, they talk about the basics. And the second one, they talk about the new findings. So they found a cave this year, recently, I think it was, or maybe it was last year. Because the shows are always like 6 months to 12 months behind. They found what they call the Red Sea Scrolls, and carefully restored as what they could, and it actually gave them instructions and accounts of the men that built the pyramids at the time and how they built them. Well, most of it anyway. Not everything, but filled in a lot of the details, apparently. And it was at a dig site, I think it was, or near a dig site, that they found this. But we're looking at this one here, the Khufu pyramids. This one was recently in the news, saying there was like pillars under the ground with water and hidden chambers. And they've already done lots of surveys on this with better technology than what was posted around X, Twitter. And they know that what's strictly underneath this particular one. Now this one over here, I believe they also had, what is it, Mr. Beast go underground, and there's a chamber of water below this one. So there could be still blocked off chambers to a water chamber underneath this one too. But yeah, basically they've got a doorway in the side that was done by grave robbers, I believe. So they talk about the Khufu one here, not the one with the extra cap on the top. And they say it's purposely lined that way to the compass coordinates, which people think is remarkable, but they found out how they did it. So they go through, Josh manages to go through all the tunnels and caverns that they've managed to unblock or find so far. It's quite an interesting episode. So yeah, after this show, go and dig it up if you can and watch it. So they recap the first episode. Basically, they find there's actually a harbour not too far away from the quarry, which is how they transported the large stones, according to the scrolls they found, to the building site. And at the building site, they had canals run from the Nile River right up to the base of it. That's what they found out in the new documents. And we really know this from LiDAR scans, that they knew there was old ancient canals next to this stuff, as well as in South America pyramids. They used the same building technique. So what's interesting, which is always what I've pointed out, is how did the people in South America and Middle America build similar way to what was in Egypt? And I have an episode talking about ancient airships, and they also in this episode talk about the king or the mummy not being found in the tomb, no relics, and it's totally barren, and that the room might have been like a decoy, and they still don't know what the pyramid was used for if they can't find a body in it. But they have found a couple of hidden chambers. I think one they got into, the other one they're still yet to find a way into it, which means which means getting permission to chisel away a hole into another slab of stone, which they probably won't get permission to do. But I'll just go over it. So basically that's the harbour, stone wall, and they find anchors, old ancient anchors. And this is meant to be a like statue of the Khufu, or whatever his name is, who's meant to actually be buried in the pyramid, but they haven't found him. So, they did a regular sound scan, I guess, and they found there was echo chambers. And there's a large chamber here above the Great Gallery, or whatever it's called. And they found a little one here. But you can see they got the King's chamber and the Queen's chamber. And they got other secret tunnels they found. And obviously got a lot of 3D CAD people helping them create nice little animations to help them visualize things. Now, that's the original doorway here that no one's actually broken into, but the grave robbers created a hole that they got through to bypass it. Apparently, a bit like Indiana Jones, that they had like slab doors blocking off the entrances that rolled into place as well, I believe. Like they triggered it and it rolled down using gravity and blocked the entrance with stone granite doors and all that sort of stuff. Not sure if there's a way to open it. There probably isn't. They only built it to lock, not to open. So, they haven't found a tunnel yet of it going up to that secret hidden chamber they found. And you can see the map below the pyramid here. From what I've seen in the show, there was no water there, but who knows? They may have missed something further along here. Or maybe even going down slightly deeper. And the question is, what's this chamber underneath? It seems to be existing in other pyramids as well, doesn't it? They didn't find a reason for this one, and the reason why there was a secret passage going up from here. The only theory was that it was like a escape passage for the builders, but maybe they're wrong. A secret escape passage, but how many of these secret passages may exist? Who knows? as the technology gets better, they said, you know, LiDAR and all that, they might find out more. So yeah, here they use LiDAR from the outside all the way through all the tunnels, which is really handy. And there's the main entrance going downwards, which is kind of interesting. And the grave robbers entrance coming horizontally. Can't remember what they were saying there. But there's the king's tomb. It's quite a large room to find nothing in it. And there's where they're meant to put the body and he's not there. And what was that one? The one underneath the pyramids. What they mapped so far. I think that's where they're standing in the episode. Okay, they're just showing you where they are. And looks like there could be another entrance going outwards here by the looks of it. Huh? I think there's a doorway there by the looks of it. And that's that little box they're standing in at the moment, way underneath the pyramids. Can't see any water there. It's hard to think they're right below the pyramid with all that weight above. Amazing. And they're back to the void again. Now what they found out is they built a model of the pyramid before they built the pyramid. They found like a hallway, and the doorway was very similar to the Great Pyramid. And they went inside it and found the tunnels matched up visually with what's in the Great Pyramid. So they started bringing in special gear and scanning it to create a 3D model and see how much of it matched the Great Pyramid. It's quite interesting. I'll just check the comments so far, just in case. TN Greer. How's it going? Yo-Yo. G Do. How'd you say that one? Dwag. Drag 87, I suppose. I don't know. This is Orifice doing. No, Kufu. Was it K-A-F-U? F-U, boy. F-U. No Osiris in it. Anyway. Okay. So, yeah, they go into this real life model that the human builders built. Now, as I said, they know that the builders weren't slaves, how they cut the stones, how they moved the stones, how they transported the stones, but the only thing they don't have, what was it? There was something they didn't have, and they had to sort of guess some of it. They know how they surveyed. There was something, I can't quite remember what it was, but there was something. I think it was mostly related to the cutting off the stones. There wasn't too much details on that. And transporting the stones. They got how they moved it in words, but they didn't have a diagram in the scrolls. But lucky enough that there was something on the side of some of the pyramids or something that showed how they moved the stones, and it sort of tied in with the Red Sea scrolls they got, which was meant to be 500 years older than the Dead Sea Scrolls. So that's quite interesting. But anyway, moving on. So now the actual episode starts beginning with the hidden chamber information, and so we're back to under the water harbour again with more information. So here's stone anchor they found at the harbour where the quarry site is, and they said this is where it all started, from the water. Without this harbour there is no Great Pyramids. So there's the Red Sea, and the harbour is meant to be there with the stone wall. How much is that? The stone wall there, they can see. They said the quarry is like 3 miles inland. Oh, hit the wrong button there. Let me just get back out. Okay, so that's going to be like 3 miles inland. Doesn't look like it. It's pretty close to the Red Sea coast. And they've got like a tent city set up there with people, geologists I guess, digging up things and trying to work out stuff. So they took to the lead digger guy, whatever his name is there. So he's talking about they're extracting copper from copper mines to make tools, and they make like these copper tools for cutting the sandstone. Now sandstone, they found in the scrolls that they used to soak them, and it made them super easy to cut with copper tools. There may be other ways to cut this using like rope with harder ground up stone put into the groove where they're cutting, and cut it like a bandsaw as well. But they know they definitely use copper tools. They found them in the quarry, hammers and things, ropes. And of course it mentions it in the new scrolls they found of how the pyramids were built. And the men weren't slaves, as a lot of people had said they are. And they were highly skilled and well-fed workers. And they even did their own graffiti on stones, and also put additional information on stones that they buried. So their name lived on, because they were proud of what they were doing, and what amazing feat they were doing. And you can see their copper tools here chipping quite nicely away at sandstone, and proves the point that it working. So they're talking about at the quarry, they put the stones on these reed boats that could hold quite heavy tons of stone block, and transport it across the Red Sea to the other side. That's where the copper mines were. And then from there, actually, I think that's where they got copper and went to the quarry site for the copper, and from there, from the quarry, they moved the stones via canals and sleds to the building sites. So there's the Nile, I guess, and Giza. and they moved the stones up to where the Great Pyramids are, and then used canals right up to the base of the building site. Oh, that's right. They never found information how they moved the stones onto the pyramid. They assume it was from ramps, and to slide the stones up the ramps, but there could be other building techniques there of using cranes, wooden cranes and lever. They found out how to use pulleys, which could lift up a man's strength to 100 times, you know, sort of thing. That guy that built the Coral Castle also figured out how to do that using exactly the same technique, and he built the whole Coral Castle himself. So he's talking about the Red Sea Scrolls, where they got the information. And he's saying here, the team is selling from the Pyramid of Khufu. Oh, there we go. It wasn't A, it was U. Khufu. How dare you? And then it's sailing upstream. And they're just reading what's on the information here. Go to the quarry of Tura. From there you have the symbol for sleeping, so they slept the night at the landing sites, I guess. And that's meant to be a picture of the boats with the stones on it. And then they built the canal from the Nile up to the building site here. Of course, then they would obviously blocked it and filled it in and whatnot. And of course, the city spread out from there onwards. Sleeping sites and cooking sites. So all the boats would be coming in here and gradually unloading the stones. And people weren't slaves, it said in the information. It's clear that pyramids were made by Egyptians, he's saying there. But who knows? Maybe they were a bit different, the Egyptians back then, to the modern ones. Not aliens, he said, or lost civilizations. So he's this guy's not on board that it was other race, but all Egyptians. In fact, there are no mysteries of ancient Egypt, he's saying. So they figured out some of the stuff that wasn't in the scrolls from also these type of drawings, where it shows a lot of men using a sled with a man at the front pouring something in front of the sled, and the statues and the heavy rocks they were moving. And then we've got them highlighting it, the sled. And so they decided to build one of the sleds themselves and give it a test. So they built a sled based on what they read and saw, although it's less curvy at the front here. And they couldn't move it until they looked at this again and found they were pouring something in front of the sled. And so a guy had an idea of trying water. And they also found in the instructions that they put these buried into the sand or rock the timber, to create a timber highway where the sled would roll on. So you didn't need timber all the way, you just needed every meter or something like that. And they made all these wet, and also added extra water in front for bigger stones and whatnot, because it dries out very quickly. And I'm not sure if I had any pictures of them moving it. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't snap them. But they actually do pull that sled along with like 10 men quite easily uphill on a quick ramp they made. So they proved the point. So the next thing was how they got it perfectly lined up with the compass bearings. And they found that they had these little post holes all down the one side of the pyramid and also down another side of the pyramid. Like so. LiDAR scans and all that sort of stuff. And then getting rid of the excess sand on top. And they created a 3D model, of course, to show you where the posts were evenly spaced. This is quite interesting. And then they put rope across them, as you can see here, and on the other side of the post, and then they made it tight. And they get a nice rectangle of where they need to lay the stones, like so, and they can then duplicate it the other side. So they get it precisely lined up. Apparently the one with the capstone on top has a slight bend in it. Didn't use this survey technique for that one. So each pyramid got better and better in design, basically what they're saying. And at the building site they found all the regular tools that we use nowadays, like a plumb line, rope, and posts, and pickaxes, and chisels, and squares to see if everything's right angles. And they also knew they could reduce some of the building site by building on a mountain of sandstone mounds, basically, rubble, boulders, all mixed together, and then they could build the blocks on top of that, which is kind of interesting. Now, the scan they took in the model one, didn't get too many snapshots of that. You just have to watch the episode, it's well worth it. They found it perfectly lined up with the Great Pyramid, as you can see here. They're merging it over using software and GPS and LiDAR and all that sort of stuff. And they're just showing you how it sort of found a hidden passageway, and it's right above them. So they aimed the thing upwards to know there's a passage where they are there. They actually, because this was going to the King's Chamber, and this above them is going to that secret chamber they found above them. And of course, I don't think they're going to get any any permission to dig a hole or remove a chunk of stone above them to go into that hidden tunnel. But who knows, maybe someone would draw a hole and have a robot go up there or something, who knows. So yeah, they point the thing upwards and you can see it starts mapping a hidden tunnel through that capstone above him. And he's pointing upwards at it there. So these are the ones that they mapped from the model, precisely mapped to the big pyramids. Of course, the model had some extra bits on the side because that wasn't the bits they were interested in. They're interested on how they could build the tunnels and the support and the weight above those points there. And there's that secret passageway that they got in the model that's not in the Great Pyramids. So they said if these line up, then could that really exist? And since they know there's a big area above, it kind of fits. So I guess we're going to have to wait. So there's the secret hidden chamber. That could be where the king's body is. There may be a lot of other great information stored there. And we're back here at the beginning. But yeah, that matched a lot of the details to what they found out with LiDAR scans and how they transported large rocks using a canal they built from the mountains to the building site in South America. So they used the same building techniques. So yeah, there you go, another review of a new season. Go and check it out, it's well worth it. There's going to be a lot more stuff in that I haven't covered here, of course. And it's well worth watching a couple of times, maybe even. Especially the first episode to the second episode. It's quite a long one. And of course, so far the new season is looking really interesting. With other stuff like gold hunting and all that sort of stuff. I probably should have said spoiler alert at the beginning. I always forget. But it's not too badly sport. You still want to go and listen to it all. And actually see all the tunnels they go through in real time and stuff. I'm sure there's a lot more footage they could have crammed into it. Probably be on the DVD. And I'm back just grabbing a toddy, okay. Edwards, we've got an Edwards. No, they just use water apparently. I guess if they found oil, it would have degraded if it was like olive oil or whatever. But who knows, right? If they can move it with water, maybe they found they could make a honey oil mixture that worked even better. Who knows? Carrying on. I'm not sure where all the regular viewers are on YouTube. Where's Michael King lately? Is he sick? I think he watched some of my 10-minute or 15-minute stuff I made recently because he made a comment. So I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, probably don't need that at the moment. Let's move on to the web page. So I started off with something more interesting. I'll come back to the Reddit thing here. And that. Okay. So this is something else that sort of came out on paranormal side of things. As you know, we do a mixture of things here. Looking at the best evidence that we can find out there and exposing shells and frauds and bullshitters. Okay, there's apparently there's a lot of these building series that you see on TV where couples are doing up old French villas and what do you call it? Buildings anyway, for bed and breakfasts. And this is one such couple. Probably need to go full screen, grab some snapshots of it maybe. Let's see. So they captured apparently Apparition. Now they kept hearing creaks and doors and footsteps. So they set up security cameras, or she did anyway. I don't think this guy's too clued on technology, but the woman is. I think it's called Château, is that how you say it? DIY. It's going to be on TV, but they've got their own YouTube channel apparently. Follows them doing do-it-yourself upgrading old rundown places.
Is from last night.
Now I've got they got a sensor light installed that also was coming on, and there's the doorway next to it there. So I'm just playing this clip under fair use. Now, it's been doing the rounds. I've kept it on the back burner, and I thought it'd be a good day to present it this time since we've caught up on all the other stuff out there. I know, I'm not sure if Liz is around today on Peeled. Who's out there? Let me just have a look. How many we got watching? We haven't got too many on Peeled, which is a bit of a shame, because I know a lot of people do watch after I've finished my long live presentations, the summary for the week. But yes, she probably would like this one. So she's explaining how she set up the camera there, as you can see. Try and capture the sensor light in the doorway.
This is me setting the camera up. So I'll set the camera up so you can see.
Which is a bit silly. They got the insert of them watching it, but it is for the channel, I guess. They could have had it in a better placement, like down there, or moved it around.
The hole in the corner. Can you see it?
So there's no reason to have that up there while she's explaining what she's doing here.
Hope you can see it. Anyway,
sounds like it's in one channel too, like the left ear only here. So how loud is it? Let me just check.
I'm off to bed. It's very late. So we'll see whether we catch this mouse out in the morning. And then Ted will have to...
Okay, so they thought it was animals and a mouse. Looks like I'm going to have to turn it up a bit here.
Believe me, there is something running above. I'm off to bed. It's very late. So we'll see whether we catch this mouse out in the morning.
Okay,
and
so
then Ted will have to
mostly.
believe me. There is something running above our bedroom. I'll see you all in the morning. Good night.
There you can see it's one of these old solid ancient doors with the lift up lever type. And you can see here she actually latched it. And it's got a sensor light here, obviously goes off after a certain amount of time.
Now you heard me put the latch on the door there.
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay, so it looks like the insert here is on the right ear of the headset here. And this one's on the left. That's how they've done it, and it might be too loud now. Let me just turn it down a bit.
Sounded like it, yeah.
Okay, so the sensor light's gone out.
Right.
So I'm going to forward this bit because it's about 2 hours, well, it is 2 hours, 27 minutes.
So it's obviously the camera hasn't switched to infrared, so I'm not too sure what kind of camera they're using here. So you might have it on night vision mode, or starlight mode, I mean, color mode.
minutes into filming last night. Now, we went to bed about midnight.
Now, I guess she might have it on, must have it on colour night vision mode, because they've got a sensor light set up to illuminate when it detects movements, hoping to catch the mice.
Midnight.
Yeah.
So this would be about 2:30. This happens.
Everything always happens around that 2:30 to 5 AM in the morning. Mostly at 3. So the door's opening up there at 2:30. Unfortunately, she hasn't got a second camera. When you do this sort of stuff, you always have a second camera so you can see both cameras and the same doorway. Or even 3 cameras, and then you could really prove that there's no one there with fishing line, right? But what's interesting though, just keep on watching, the sensor light gets triggered. Now this happened in my hallway, remember?
Now you heard the
It happened in my hallway, and the sensor lights come on. I had 2 cameras set up, and you could see the light come on the 2 cameras. One was set in colour mode only, so it would only see natural light, and the other one was set up on infrared in the hallway. And the camera started playing up with a load of static and noise on it, which is kind of strange, but you know, paranormal have a way of messing around with cameras somehow.
lights go off the door.
Yeah.
And that's the light.
Okay, so now it's detected something stepping in near the door. We can't see anything there. And he's thinking it's like an animal on the ground. But what if you carefully watch, you'll see a shadow of what looks like a human figure walking this way.
Light coming on.
The motion sensor light.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think the shadow's popped up yet. We might have to do a frame by frame, but we'll go back over it.
Bloody hell, what? There's shadow there.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see a shadow.
You can see a shadow. The quality of the video might be better than what we got here, but I think the shadow's here at the moment. Well, there.
Shadow moving across it.
Yeah. Keep watching.
Yeah, I didn't quite see
Oh
the
my
shadow.
God.
It's very hard to see the shadow, but you can see it's now messing around with the camera, which is quite
What?
interesting.
That's got to be an animal or something, isn't it?
That was a
How?
big shadow for an animal.
How?
Now, can we see the shadow? It's very hard to see it.
Oh my God.
Happens very quickly. I'll give you a link to it in a minute. You can have a look. Let's do a step here. I think we might have to run some filters through it. These people should have given it to me to analyze, eh? And I could have done wonders with it. Is it stepping? I don't know.
There's shadow there.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see a shadow moving across.
You can see a shadow moving. Now, I did actually have seen it, but I'm not sure why I can't see it now. Okay, let's see if we can improve it with some filters. Oh, I got full screen.
Keep
That's not gonna help. That's not gonna help. Let's see. So we can't loop it between 2 points, or can we?
Now you heard the latch go off the door.
Yeah.
And that's the light coming on.
The motion sensor light.
Yeah.
I can hear something walking. In the headset. Oh, there we go. There
What?
we can see a shadow.
There's a shadow there.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see a shadow moving across it.
Yeah.
Move to here.
Keep watching.
So we can see it a bit better now.
Into filming last night. Now we went to bed about.
Okay, that noise is their dog. Yeah, can we step it from there? I don't think it's working. Has Google done something to it? They're always messing up stuff, aren't they? Oh no, it looks like the little camera up the top is moving. God, how many frames are we talking about here?
Would be about 2:30. This happens.
Okay, we'll do it from there. Just shame we can't see a full body transparent apparition like they did with Ben Hansens one. Standing in the doorway. But maybe there is. It's just says you just have to run it through the right filters. And of course we only got some basic stuff here. This is my first time really looking at it. It's what I call live debunk or live analysis, right? Is it still working? Are they moving? She thinks it's quite funny. Oh, yeah, they're still moving. That's the only reference point we got. So that thing must be standing at the door, wondering to come in or not. For a few seconds. Can we see the shadow at all? Okay, so it started moving. The camera readjusts. Aha, you can see something moving across the stones. Now, looking at where the light sources are, it's got to be illuminated from the hallway light. And it looks like this light here is reflecting off something over here. So we've got light sources coming, bouncing off there, back this way. Now what's that there? Almost looks like an arm. Could it be more than one? Let's keep on moving. Yeah, like you can see it coming from the doorway. I'm just going back and forth at the moment. Forward, forward, forward. Why can't I see it now? Is it stuffed up again? Let me just have a look. I think it's stuffed up. Oh no, it's working. Wish we had some sort of other fine frame counter on this stupid player. Having missed it. Something's gone wrong again, I think. There it is. You can see it's definitely coming from the doorway. Going back again. Go forward again. What's going on? Damn. Let's just zoom out a bit again. Something screwed up there. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing shadow. Just trying to work out the height of it. Looks like it could be not very tall. Could be a kid size. I'll have to try some other filters.
There?
Yeah.
There you go, look. I'll go backwards again. Doesn't seem to go backwards very good. There we go, look. So look, it's maybe bent over. Let's see if we can get it better. Went full size again, that's probably why. Where's the thing? I hate this transparent font, you can't see anything anymore. Google. Why don't you have well, you have to muck around with it. So we know the shadow is about there, I think. Although I can't seem to get any better. Saturation. Maybe less, I don't know. Invert maybe. Yeah. Let's try that. Go back a bit.
Night.
Yeah.
So this would be about 2:30. This happens. Now you heard the latch go off the door.
Yeah.
And that's the light coming on.
The motion sensor light.
Yeah.
Bloody
there
hell,
you go.
what?
See that
There's
there?
shadow there.
Yeah, that's
So I
right.
can see a shadow.
That's half the doorway, so it looks like it must be kid size. Maybe it's aliens. 3 foot tall greys again. Okay, that sort of was a wee bit better. In a different way, a different method. There you go. You can't see it better when it's at normal speed though. So you can see it's there. Still not very good.
Shadow there.
Yeah.
See that there? It's very interesting. I wonder what the background. This is where you need like paranormal investigator to do a history check of the land, see if there's any kids that died there, and whatnot. Yeah, I just don't know. See, it's gone wrong there now. Let's just try that.
Now you heard the latch go off the door.
Now, unfortunately, they're talking over some of the noises I'm hearing in the background.
Yeah.
And that's the light coming on.
The motion sensor light.
You can hear a shoveling of feet on the concrete, on the floor, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, what? There's shadow there.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see a shadow.
And it looks like it went from there and started going towards this direction.
Shadow moving across it.
Yeah. Keep watching.
Oh my god. What? That's got to be an animal or something, isn't it?
Anyway, I'll give you a link to it. You can have a look at it yourself. But yeah, what do you think of that? I think it's legit. No one's saying anything anymore. Who thinks it's a legit? I should do a poll. How do we do a poll on this add-on? Yeah, and I need like a link that we can gift to everybody that can join the global chat instead. But yeah, just reply with 1 if you think it's legit, 2 if you think it's not legit, or 3 you don't know. Anyway, I'll just give you a link to it. It's quite hard to find it if you're just looking for it, because people make their own videos from it but don't give a link to the original, and it took me a while to find it with the help of the AI, which is was quite useless, so I might add. I'll copy it from that position onwards. Okay, Apparition. Shame it wasn't better. Wasn't as good as Ben Hansens one that we have seen in the past. French building. Alright, we got some comments pop up. Let's just have a look what you said here. UAP USA tracker here. Thanks for joining, mate. The tank killer recorded the encounter of Maui Beach. Okay. Oh, I haven't spelled French right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean. Yeah, if you want me to have a look at it, just join our Discord group and post a link to your full video. Ideally, just upload the source video to Google Drive and say share it publicly. And you can just provide the link to people that can get access to it. Ben Hansen, yeah, I have covered him 3 times now, I think. My analysis of it. I didn't use a full video of their ones because Discovery Channel or whatever it is, TV channel, Travel TV or whatever it's called, don't even consider fair use at all. But if you do it in a set of different frames like I've done with Josh Gates, generally you can get away with it. But how do you do reviews if you're not allowed to use the material, right? I suppose they're really after good reviews, not bad reviews, right? Let me see if I can find the Josh Gate one. So as you know, you can just go to my channel and use the search magnifier down here that searches only the episodes on that channel. And you can't do it on the phone. The phone app sucks. It doesn't have this feature. It's only available on the web version of YouTube. Why? I don't know. And you can type in Hansen, I guess. Might come up. Let's just try it. Mind you, he's done a few things I cover. I probably spelled his name wrong, have I? Okay, so we should be able to find it quite quickly. Because I put it on the phone now, I think. Here we go. Ghosts and UFOs with my handwriting. Well, trying to. And you click on that. And the new show. Look at that, it goes straight to it. Now this is his Apparition. Here's a close-up. And that's the thing. And we analysed it to make it better. And you can see that it's a woman, looks like in a nightgown. You can see her head here, black hair. But you can see it's sort of transparent. You can see her face and ear. The dressing gown she's wearing and feet she's walking. But you can see through her. And it's on infrared and it's a wee bit transparent there and some noise. But you can see it definitely looks like it's walking. And you can see it's behind the chair here. It's definitely in the hallway. And because of the angles, it can't be a pepper ghost illusion where they use mirrors. It's just not possible. And you would have to be calling Ben a liar. So I'll copy that link there. And I'll post it. I'll just go back to the beginning on that one, so we don't lose our place. Go back here. So next topic. Ben's, I'd say it's probably the best apparition ever recorded, and I think that's solid proof there. But it would have been good to have another camera that caught it too, you know, and outside synchronized cameras like I do in my house, but they didn't show it on the show, which is a bit unfortunate. It's pretty amazing anyway. My super soon needs to come back a bit. There you go. So we do know for sure, because the best evidence always comes from paranormal than the UFO side of things. Understanding what paranormal is, though, is somehow also connected also into the same concept of UFOs. It's using the same people like to call it dimension or interdimension, but really it's in the same plane existence. And I've tried to explain that with the multiverse model and portals that open up briefly and then close again. And I've tried to explain why the portals open up, and it's to do with imbalance in the dark energy field, where it gets interrupted, and plasma is the reason. From what I understand anyway, or what I've been shown. But anyway, it's complicated. So you just have to take my word for it. I think most people trust me nowadays. I've been doing it for 9 years, and I haven't shown any people distrust of why you shouldn't distrust what I'm saying. But my interpretations might be wrong that I'm seeing, so we always adjust things as we go, and hopefully improve our knowledge and keep on studying the phenomenon. But yeah, exciting. So we've got a few more people watching out there. Do say hi in the side chat on Peeled there, that'd be great. And Rumble as well. Rumble users, don't be a hater, come and chat. We're not that scary, are we? StoneHobbit. Stoned Rabbit. Hobbit. Okay, so I did 3 episodes this week, standalone. Even though I wasn't feeling very well. This sleep apnea is messing up. I have to sleep in the afternoons now. Yeah, so I did 3 episodes. I'll just go back out here a bit to my Reddit channel. Why is it not going? That's not going to go. Why is that? I'll click on there then. So I did one on Dr. Greer. So I've taken it from various live debunks we've done, looking for deception, and this one's on his light beings all being faked or photoshopped. So far I've only got 1 like on it, which is a bit sad to see. And yeah, I had some idiot attack me on it saying I don't see the point of this video. And well, the video is to show you that Dr. Greer is a shill, and there's no way he could have been talking to the so-called Beiju alien, let alone any of the other aliens from his past. His first one was a moth on infrared, of all things, because not everybody had infrared cameras back then, so you could get away with a lot more deception. The second one was on third phase of the moon, and the Defender Goophonian, taken also from not just my documentaries or analysis, but also other people's, showing you how they fake stuff. There's only so much you can do with 15-minute episodes on Reddit, but this one here has something like 6,000 views. This one at the moment has like 3,000 views, and this one has got 10 likes, which is still pretty low for 5,000 views. And this one here on Secureteam, confessing, and also clips of him faking leaker videos he did. So we had to cut that down a wee bit, but on YouTube I put slightly longer ones on, which made a bit more sense of it. And this one has got 22,000 views I think at the moment, and 26 likes from that. And I think I've gained like 50 subs from it. So yeah, you can see I get downvoted a lot, or not really uploaded on my Reddit system, which is just unfortunate. Haters will be haters, right? Or people just like promoting shills. And yeah, this guy, if you go into the comments by clicking on it, let's see, what does it give us? So posted a comment under it, breaking it up. So order of light beings debunked. One, moth. Second one is a Joshua tree. Second one is a lady in red, which I believe is one of the people they had around the bobber fire. The fourth one was a lens flare, and 5 doesn't really exist, but I said Dr. Greer exposed, and here's the full one on YouTube. Okay, or slightly longer one, but this guy here, turns out he's got his own YouTube channel and talks a load of bullshit on it about consciousness, and he actually defends the shells, and he didn't actually watch anything I had to present to him. I truly don't understand the intention of posts like this. Well, it must be pretty thick then, you know. And I think it's fairly obvious what the intention of the post is, because these guys follow all that bullshit that thirdphase puts out there, and they suck it up. And yeah, we know non-humans are real. I never said, I didn't say that. I didn't say that in the video either. But I said I was focusing on his light beings weren't non-humans. I can tell you for a fact that light beings are not real. If it has, I would have caught it on my cameras by now. Unless you want to call orbs light beings, which I guess you can, because they can emit light. But they're not, I don't think they're really light. I think they're more plasma. Okay. So it would have been better calling them plasma beings. And we're still on the broader research on whether plasma is actually like physical matter, that it actually can actually have consciousness. And we're still yet to figure that out in our science. But this guy's big on consciousness. But I'm more into the science connection into consciousness, and whether we can actually prove it instead of being a typical shill and believing in crystals and all that sort of stuff. Although crystals are special as well, and some of them do have special properties, and they do create piezoelectric effects, and they do, some of them slow down light propagation as well. But anyway, and of course metal is also crystal, so crystals are special, but somehow it's been hijacked in the New Age movement. But where there's a little bit of truth, there's also fabrication and fantasy added into it. I'm just after the nuts and bolts, and try and figure out what life is from that. And if we can replicate it, and whether we can capture it. But as you know, if you're a real alien contactee, it's very, very hard to get things that I've just shown you, like apparitions. It's very rare to capture something incredible, because they can mess around with your cameras. As you saw in the last clip, they actually started messing around with the camera. Like, I've had like probably 15 power supplies blow in the last 3 years of the cameras. I've had 3 cameras die for no reason, and I've had cameras corrupt images for no reason. And I've had files go missing. So it's a, you know, people filming dots in the sky claiming they're summoning UFOs, and it's total nonsense. Unless you've had an alien standing 3 feet away from you, or across the room from you in broad daylight like I have, you don't know anything. And I still don't. I still know more than most people, and I know somehow they're able to make themselves be seen not through visual, not through optics, but through the mind, which some Indians would call the third eye, whatever. Right, some of those religions. There is, as we know, modern scientists has looked at the brain, and they can actually implant images into your brain through electromagnetic waves. So we know it's possible. So advanced beings probably know this and know how to communicate that way. And they probably know how to communicate over long distances too. But we won't go into that. We've covered it in the past. We'll just focus on new stuff now. But yeah, these people that don't know me and don't know what I do and ignore me, although I give these people the videos and the best stuff, they don't watch it. They're sort of programmed, or the disinformation agents that come along. I don't know. I just can't work out people, especially on UFO X and Reddit. There's a lot of strange ones on Reddit as well, like this guy here. Watching the same tactics being applied to James. Now he's talking about, which I'll cover in a minute, another shill that has confessed to hoaxing. Like the Buga sphere, they call James the Buga rod or Buga Tube, which people keep calling a cylinder for obvious reasons, is hilarious. Now he's confessed it's just a aluminium tube that he's etched stuff on and drilled into and made up this whole story of poisonous gas or whatever coming out of it and making him sick. So I've tried to explain it to this guy. Always nice to people, but I really should start ignoring these people because they consume a lot of my time. But this may be a hope, because in the past we've had like John from Tucson that attacked me initially over SSP debunks I've done, and eventually he watched the stuff and watched it over again and over again and has come back and said, apologies, you're correct. So you can actually turn around some hardcore people that have been brainwashed by these bad, what I call bad actors in ufology and paranormal. I said I've shown you Greer is a fraud, you know, but he hasn't watched it, obviously, right? He's been programmed, and whether he's, I was starting to wonder if this guy was hired by Greer to troll people. So you just don't know. So now he's saying, do you acknowledge non-humans are real? Dude, I'm sorry, you have to catch up. I'm way ahead of the curve than these guys know it. You know the truth now. Disclosure has already happened. That is not true. Disclosure has not happened. You've got some of the disclosure from me and people like me, but from the government, no. And it will never happen, because I've already explained it many a times that the government can't admit that alien abductions are real and happening, and they can't stop it because it'll cause worldwide panic. And then there'll be all the questions, why did you keep it under wraps for so long, and blah blah, and it'll just bring down governments, because it's quite a big thing. Although my mum's not interested. She's more interested in his soaps in Coronation Street. So there are people out there like that just want to live their life, sleep and eat, and not care about what life's all about. Me, I like to know before I die. So yeah, I kept replying to him and said yes, aliens are non-humans, but I also said here that DARPA, well, it should be DARPA, have been working on AI bots like Elon is at the moment for the last 30 years. And probably way ahead of the curve, like 20 years ahead, and will upgrade that tech faster with the new NVIDIA chips. So Elon's just got those, so he'll be making good use of them. Why make a AI robot so you can fly current planes without making it built? I think this should alright, built in, yeah, sort of got to the next line. As you know, I have to zoom in, and if it gets to the end of the screen, I have to hit enter. So you end up with all this extra spacing. It's just the way the input works, unfortunately. This means they can fly the planes faster than pilots, even hypersonic. When they go wrong, they will crash. This is where the crash retrievals come in, and seen NHI in the wreckage. So if they come across this talking robot that's got like a silicon skin on it to try and hide it. In the past, they trained up monkeys to do it, and they had skinless and fearless monkeys to do it. Now that we're using AI robots to do exactly the same thing for testing X-planes. So I said it makes sense that these whistleblowers may have seen something like that, and that's what they're talking about, and it's not actually aliens at all. So it's still our technology at these crash retrievals. Although there may be the odd one UFO. We don't really know. But the whistleblowers haven't shown us any evidence, haven't shown us any footage. And so I went on about disclosure, which I just talked about the government can't come clean on it. Corvo and many videos are disinformation. And I talk about Sunday court and private events promoting a mothership when it's a 100% a reflection of a Seagland light, and so on. And I said truth matters, and he's saying truth matters, but he didn't watch my video, so he wasn't interested in truth. That's why I spent several years focusing on disinformation and systems of oppression, tried to hide the truth. Well, I'm certainly not hiding the truth, as you know. I'm pretty honest and not too embarrassed to reveal stuff that people would laugh at, that I claim they haven't. Even though I haven't got any physical or video evidence of more than half of the stuff that's happened in the house or around me. I've released several, so this is where this guy talks about, he's released several films on the topic of disinformation, and yet he is part of the disinformation because he won't acknowledge my video as being factual, and he's saying, why did I do it? So why should I pay any attention to this drip? So I said, so you just prove you're not better than the other grifters. All my stuff is free and always will be. My documentaries are very good, even when I had a dying laptop and a $2 mic. So you really want people to believe that you are better than them. Now, did I say I was better? I just said I've got better evidence and more up close stuff, right? So yeah, I guess I am better than most of the crap out there. Dude, my films are free on YouTube, but I wouldn't want to watch them because from his first comment and his second comment that he's asking me why I did my 15-minute expose. If you want to see who I am, I'm a very public person. Well, I had a quick look and I saw what he looks like, and he looks like Dr. Evil with the bald head. But anyway, I just got a bad vibe from this guy from the start, and looking at him gave me even more of a bad vibe. And, you know, these people end up insulting me in the end. So that's when I start to switch off. But I have to tell you, the whole nonsense where you pretend it's not true if people ask for money, the magic trick doesn't work anymore. Update your algorithm. Now, I don't really ever ask for money. I ask people if they want to help, they can donate. And I don't promote my merc and all the other things like Team does. Anyway, I rarely ever mention money. I'm just telling you that I'm just a regular average Joe, trying the best I can, funded my own channel, and I've got massive expenses to deal with. And if you want to help keep what I'm doing going, and you can help me pay for internet costs and replacement gear and cameras and all that sort of stuff if you want. Like what I do, you know. But it's, you know, it's evil money. Money is needed. Else, we can't do what we think. So he was talking about if you use AI, then you must be a disinformation agent. What a nonsense that guy is. Where did he say that? He did say it somewhere here. Let's see. Whenever, but the only people that use the G word are disinformation agents and chatbots. So thank you for showing us who you are. My work stands alone, exposing Guardian case, Dr. Lear alien case, and many more. None before had solutions, but I see you never looked at my videos, so no more point in bashing it out with you here. You have confirmation bias. The aliens visited me for a reason, that I had the knowledge and skills needed to relay the information they gave me on them in the multiverse. Good luck. I'm done here now. Paul. So that should have been the clue to this guy to cease and desist, because I can't be bothered. And if they start trying to plug negative stuff on the video, people ain't going to watch it. When I was at high school, I worked on AI before it was a buzzword. Bit like Valet, I had AI working on Apple II. It could understand English and learn what it was taught to it. So using AI as disinformation is laughable. It's a tool where you can find stuff super fast instead of reading all the web pages. Maybe learn tech yourself and get up to speed and stop listening to conspiracies and fools like Greer, Sunday, Ross Cohart. There's a big pool of them destroying ufology. It will take 200 years to come right. So now he's gone here. Oops, so see, I triggered you. Blah blah blah. Mate, I never get triggered. I didn't need to look into you. Once you said your first comment, then your second comment, and then you claim you have written books, etc. And then I knew you must be promoting bullshit like Greer, defending them. You are part of the problem and why ufology is damaged for 200 years. You must be a super bad researcher defending a criminal like Greer. Of course, someone else joined in here, which I'm not sure if it's related to that guy or not. Do you happen to know about News Nation and its connections to Blackrock, which are in turn connected to Lockheed Martin, and how they're connected? So I posted down here, first use an AI tool to pin the links. It said yes as below. So it goes through here basically. explain what everything is, and then an overall comment. The connection between the three entities is one of financial investment through institutional ownership. Lockheed Martin is a publicly traded defense contractor. Blackrock is one of the largest international investors in Lockheed Martin. News Nation parent company News Media Group is a publicly tracked company in which BlackRock is highly likely to be a major international shareholder. The concern you heard that his financial connection could compromise his work is based on the idea that the financial interests of the owners, BlackRock, might subtly influence the coverage provided by the media company News Nation regarding one of their other major holdings, Lockheed Martin's. This is a general critique often leveled against the concentration of international ownership across, as you know, mainstream media and news companies, right? They're all biased and line shitholes. Disparate energies, but it doesn't offer direct evidence of editorial interference in Colhert's reporting. Then I said here, Ross is dangerous. He's the worst presenter ever in ufology, who promote BS like fakes and is constantly being debunked. He's making lots of dollar though doing so and making more a mess for ufology. He's been outed in Australia as the worst researcher on TV, even though he won rewards. I think I meant to say awards. He made fundamental errors as an investigator, reporter, fact-checking. A claim on UK PMs about a sex ring without researching the background of the victim to see if they were credible. See here. So I have a video of breaking it down for him. And then I replied to the James Rods thing. The James Rods thing, I believe, named the Buga Rods or Buga Tube. The guy has confessed it was a prank now. Not a prank. Not a prank. No one is confessed. We will see what is happening. Whoever is trying to ran the disinformation campaign, this guy's just a nut job on James, is completely inept. Blah blah blah. Look, I know what I'm telling you. He's confessed it all because he got scared of some people tracking him down and his workplace. Here's a confession video. Now, I'll show that next. It turns out that he's now deleted that video, fortunately, before I could do my live stream. But he has also confessed in other videos since and slightly before anyway. But that was one of the better ones where he was talking about people showing up at the work. So he didn't bother looking at the video. Once upon a time I might have believed you. If you check my comment history, you see that for yourself. I spent several years reviewing evidence and I have had my own encounters, so many encounters. Now I think the guy's got a bit of a mental problem. He has got zero evidence on film. He's just got a load of stories, just like all these people. Sure, he may have had experience, but the way he's talking to me here shows that he's not to be trusted. He's not credible. But you can see I can spend a lot of time on this. That's ridiculous. Proves you don't know me. Someone with 2 tech degrees in computer science and ex-tutor in electrotech and CAD-CAM. I was mates with the chief investigator for MUFON SoCal. Sadly, he died this year of bone cancer. What I have shown also can be verified by other debunkers. If look, I am truther who has experiences and evidence. I don't know anyone who distrusts me. Some of my debunks were used by MUFON guy too, which is ill. But anyway, and he's saying who cares? I mean, this is all sincerity. While you are analysing old videos, not just old videos, I do everything, mate. And pictures, the rest of us are communicating with NHIs. Well, I haven't managed to communicate with my alien visitors, but they certainly did do body language, but they didn't do verbal. And working in new science and tech, I'm sorry, the world has changed. You need to catch up. I think he's the one that needs help, you know. Edit for Paul. You have to keep responding to my comments, but for some reason I can't respond back to you. That's because he didn't get the comment above that I'm done talking to him, so I ended up having to lock the comments with the lock thing here. But it doesn't stop him editing the comments, so he's re-edited here to bitch that I've locked the comments. So he wouldn't go away. He wouldn't get the message. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And if you want to go to the site, I'll give you a link to it. So far I think it's got 516 members following me. The videos get from anywhere from 3,000 to 30,000 views, I think, in the first week. So it's not as censored as YouTube is. As you know, YouTube is the worst one I've come across for censorship so far. But yeah, I did these little videos. You can see they autoplay. I won't play them here, but lucky enough they auto-mute. Okay. Now let's have a look at that James stuff again, because he keeps coming round and round again. I think he disappeared for a while after his last acting, drilling the rod, and then he could have just left it like that and had everybody guessing, but then he come back and tried to cream more money, I guess, and eventually he got caught out. People started tracking him down, which is kind of scary when you think about it. Having strangers to show up, especially at your parents' workplace or whatever. Okay, let's post it. Paul's subred, they call it, don't they? Whatever it's called. There we go. Okay, StoneHobbit. I saw something here. Posted. Let's have a look. StoneHobbit. No, he's good. Who are we talking about here? Similar to TDS XO's new video. Busiest beaches. Okay. No, he's good, so whoever that is, I don't know. Ben Hansen, me. Mate, you're not coming up on my Discord. Do you have a link? Yeah, the pinned comment above should have all the links to support links like PayPal, Bitcoin even, because there was a time where people couldn't even make donations to me. But Bitcoin seemed to be the only place that the government didn't have control over it. But they still might yet, who knows. But if you go there, you'll find a link to Discord and YouTube and most of my other alt media locations. And you just click on that, and it should take you straight to my domain. And I have to log in and approve you for full membership and all that sort of stuff. But you should be able to post a link to the lobby there, I think. But I'll see you after the show sometimes if you do join, meantime. But if you also look at the home tab on YouTube, that they made a mess of it now. But it ends up being a single line and it has a little link to other information. You click on that and it should have a link there as well. But probably easier just go to my website link anyway above and go from there, as long as that hasn't been hacked. I don't check it out constantly, so problem with websites and hosters, they're always getting hacked. They always find new backdoors and stuff, you know. They do an update and the update's created a backdoor. He could swallow a watermelon when he unhinges. Whoever that is. Fix in time. On Pure, thank you for commenting, by the way. I think you're the only one so far. I think you might be talking about Dr. Greer. He's got a really big mouth. I think that's who you're referring to there. And he's got really bad teeth as well. It's a fantastic adventure with magic everywhere. Magic, high levels of communication. The adventure of discovering what life is. Life is a journey, not a destination, right? Have awesome days, guys. Catch you later. Oh, okay, she's gone. Anyway, you too. Who are we down to? 2 on YouTube now. What did I say? Scared you off. Okay, we've got lots more cool stuff to go through still. Okay. How are we going for time? That's a good question. I might have to reset the volume there. So it goes too low. Google will keep lowering the volume. And Pill will get more distorted. Pill is terrible audio. I don't know what they do when they re-encode it on the fly. There, but it's disaster. They could lower the bitrate of the video, but they should keep the audio the same, and then it would be okay. But no, they've got to mess around with the audio as well, just to save a few megabytes here and there. But anyway, maybe they'll figure it out one day. Okay, look, working backwards here at the moment. Let me see where we can get the next thing, which is James the Rodman. So has he brought it back? No. You can see there, it was there. He's now deleted that video confession. So I had a look around to see if there's any copies. There might be a copy of the original one, but here's another one. They call him Cylinder James admits it was a hoax. So let's just play a clip here on Reddit and let's see what happens. Sound is probably muted. Oh no, it's going to YouTube.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy here. I hope you enjoyed the latest film we made. It's kind of like Blair Witch Project stuff. Found footage, but we did have to end it because...
Okay, so he's admitting it here.
A lot of you people on Reddit like to be sleuths online, which is good.
Not just Reddit, mate. Not just Reddit.
But like, showing up to people's workplaces can get a little sketchy. So, with law enforcement being involved in all of this...
So I think he may have deleted the other video because he was walking along the footpath towards the business. And I think he may have shown something that he didn't like. And it gave him people too many clues. So people slip up and give clues away.
I'm gonna have to end it and come clean with you guys. But yes, it was all a hoax. Completely a hoax from the start. I got 20,000 people to believe me, possibly more.
And me, I don't have that sort of numbers. I wonder why. Because maybe I'm a buzzkill. But I do, and they don't hang around for the good stuff. But that makes you more honest. And I've debunked some of my stuff after I've shown it too. The one with the strange thing in the hallway that turned out to be a spider web and stuff like that.
A bunch of YouTubes make a channel on me, which
But there was actually an apparition in the hallway that turned on the lights though. That wasn't a spider.
I think will go down in history as something pretty funny, which is...
I think a lot of people are pissed off with this guy actually. But anyway, what did they say down here? Can't wait until this donkey is out of all the alien subreddits. All of it is hilariously fake. Yeah, so a bit like all the crap that we see on X too. We can't wait for Sondo and Age of Disclosure to disappear at the threads, and crazy people that are into politics talking nonsense, you know. Anyway. His live stream video where people thought he died or something was the most high school film project thing I've seen. Yeah, it's a bit like, what is it? The Blair Witch Project. I don't know how there are people who fall for something like that so easily. Well, go and talk to the guy on my post, because he believes it. It's kind of sad, really. Believe all you want, but put forth some critical thinking. The best for me was the multiple I saw people die in Iraq. Those are the sounds you never forget type of bullshit statements. That and the idiots and the time stamped him voiding his bells. Yeah, burped a lot, didn't he? And obviously farted a lot. But bro, no one can act that good. Come on. The whole thing was horrible and too easily shallowed by too many. 7 subreddits with all the armchair scientists trying to prove validity by denying so many red flags. Ban, block all related content from the sub. What a clown. Blame the people that non-stop post. Yeah, that guy on my video. Take the people that believe it too. A lot of people believe this even though it was pretty obvious. It was a hoax. I'm shocked at how bad people are at discerning sincerity in someone's voice. To me it was obviously fake the moment I heard him speak. So he's talking about probably the first video. It was obvious, Anyway, I'll post a link to it and you can have a read of that. But obviously it's not the video I had, but it's another one where he's sort of saying the same things. So we're done with that clown, hopefully. But we're not done with the other guy. What was his name? Murphy, I think it was. Meta, whatever his name was. Meta. I can't remember now. His nickname. James Tube from space says it's all a hoax. End game, bit like that black thing that we talked about last weekend. Game over, man. Okay, there we go. Might have to get a sip of drink. Okay, where do we get to there? On the end. Now I might go forward to the beginning. Where do we begin? What was that? That was about the plasma consciousness stuff. Still don't know what I'm going to do with that. Haven't had time to research much into it now. And I probably won't be able to. Not this side of Christmas. But maybe I'll present what I've got, maybe. Alright. So the beginnings of Third Phase, and this story was sort of exposed on a few podcasts, including Spaced Out Radio. So I wanted to talk about this, about their so-called alien experience, because we know they're hoaxes. And you can't believe anything they tell you. And that's the point, is once you're a hoaxer, you're always a hoaxer. And even if they did tell the truth, you would never believe it. Let's see, I think I got it queued in the right place, so I'll just play a clip under fair use and transform it and add more stuff to it.
Break it down. 4 o'clock.
Okay, I think it's pretty low volume. Let me just check. Let's amp it up a bit.
In the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, Blake and I are in our room. It's dark, and we start
Ooh, they're in a dark room together.
seeing these 3 gray aliens that
And he sort of had that sort of laugh as he was saying it too.
look like Skinny Bob. And
Okay, and we know Skinny Bob is a CGI thing, but we have got videos of Alien Greys on episode 53 if you missed it.
they were in jumpsuits, black jumpsuits, and they're just Peter.
Okay, so I'm not sure where you got the black jumpsuits from. Maybe he was watching the Out There channel. But they do wear black jumpsuits, and they do have these suits that can turn into bioluminescent torches.
Pattering around our room, and we're in our bed, and we're looking at.
I think there are bunk beds. I'm not sure if he talks about them here.
These things, both of us. So this is what I'm not sure. Twins.
He's got a little laugh there. It's like a towel sign that he's making up a story every time.
Think the same, and maybe they'll like say the same things at the same time. But
I'll just pause it every so often too, as you know. Spaced Out Radio was no friend of mine. Someone's at the door. I'm not sure if I have to go and answer it. The problem is my parents are deaf and they don't hear it, and my dad has the TV very loud and you don't hear the doorbell. Hang on, I'll just go and check. Be back in a minute. Have you answered the door? Okay, whoever it was is not there now. Well, back to this. So let me just get organised here again. So we listened to Blake Cousins saying that they were visited as kids by 3 grey entities. I don't believe it.
This is like, we're not dreaming. We're both aware of what's happening, and we're not feeling any kind of intimidation. We're not afraid of what's happening. We're just kind of calm, and we could see them. They had big, dark eyes, and their heads were huge. But
now, if they come out with a story before they were a famous YouTube channel, because they were doing other things, they were filming, digging and stuff, it would be more believable. But since then, we know a lot more details about abduction cases and the common traits. Makes it less believable.
we almost called them like they weren't grays because we said their skin almost had the color of human skin, a white skin. And that
white skin is not grey skin, mate.
That was odd. And we don't know what happened next.
That tells me they're fabricating the story and adding new facts in.
But what we did do the next morning, we definitely went to mom and dad and we said we had these three beings. We didn't know what to call them. We just called them, which is the strangest thing because we didn't know what else to call them. We called them big butt heads because their heads were
big butt heads. because they look like a butt. Kind of strange thing to say. But anyway, fair enough. But I don't believe the story. They may have had a nightmare, and twins generally have some sort of sixth sense amongst each other, don't they? Sometimes they might be dreaming the same thing, who knows? I know there's some studies being done on twins. But, yeah. So, I don't think they say much more than that, but when they're asked for details, you can see they change the topic.
They're so big, they look like somebody's big fat ass.
Right. But you don't know if you were taken or anything like that.
That's the
Okay, that's one of the questions.
question. No, we don't. And we can't explain, we can't go into that because we have no conscious memory of that. So we'll say we weren't taken, but you never know. So that was kind of our kind of interest in aliens from the very beginning. And growing up at a young age, we'd go to the library, and the first thing we'd go to is, where's the alien book? Where's the Loch Ness? Where's...
Well, you won't find alien butts in any book, I don't think.
Bigfoot. That's the only thing we're pulling out of the public library. That's what we wanted to see and read.
How did that really affect what you guys were doing? Did you have any other...
Here's the doorbell going. And I know they're working out the back. Whether he's gone back outside, I don't know, but I'm not going to care about it. They can keep ringing the doorbell. You think people would learn to go around to the side gate and yell? Then you might get attention. If the person's not inside the building, they might be outside, but anyway.
Further happenstances like that where these aliens came back, or was it a one and done sort of affair?
Yeah, growing up even on the North Shore of Oahu, this was in Palolo, and then our dad was a big time surfer, pipeline master. They called him a tube master, something like that.
Was he anal probed up his tube? Yeah. What was the question? I think that's the question he ignores anyway. But
and we moved to the North Shore of Oahu, and he loved to surf the big waves, and we lived right on the beach.
What was the question? I need to go back.
And we could see him. They had big, dark eyes, and
can you ever get it to the right spot? Can you? Because it changes so much.
It's back. Get up. And it was about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and you
just have to move it just a little bit.
Opinions as well, and try to find out exactly what their thoughts are, and then.
Up this year's been wild. And we're pretty much we just got past it. 2020 was kind of.
I've probably gone past it now. It's probably best to bring up the transcript. How do we get to it? Let's still listen to them. Transcript. Go this way. Because I got a new place now. Down at the bottom. Used to have it in the 3 dots, so it used to be easier to find. Alright, so let's see. I know it was around about the 42 mark. They called them big butt heads because their heads were so big. But you don't know if they were taken. You don't know if you were taken. We can't explain. We can't go into that because we have no conscious memory. kind of interest in aliens from the very beginning. Library. That's the only thing we pulling out of the public library, that what we wanted to see and read. How did that really affect what you guys were doing? Okay, so this is really the question that leads up to whether they had a YouTube channel at the time, and they didn't. They were doing these stupid movies, right? And they were doing capsurati work, taking photographs of people on the beach nude or whatever, and selling it to magazines. They sold one photo for $250,000 US, which is kind of slimy thing to do, really. And movie stars, and they were doing some work for a local TV company, they said, where they first got their idea for creating a UFO channel in their 20s, after a guy was on one of these news channels telling the story about what he saw in UFO, and they got the idea of setting up the UFO channel from then. 2008 I think it was, and there was no one else doing it at the time, they claim. But in this interview here, they talk also about the background, I think, on so he's talking about their dad on the pipeline. So what was the question though? Oh yes, about how it affected what they did, and then start talking about their dad doing the pipeline, moved to North Shore Beach, one of the best surf spots in the entire planet, Ayakia, hanging out with one of the best friends, and he says, oh yeah, we saw a UFO last night, and we're like, he didn't tell us. Well, if it ever comes back again, Dad, you wake us up. Alright, his dad saw a UFO while they were surfing, so he claims. Just let us know if you ever see it again. And about a month later he says it's back, get up, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. So his dad is up late at night then, seeing they were all witnessing it, and we have the full ocean views. We're right on the sand and there's no obstruction, and we see a bright light probably about 3 to 4 miles out, and we could see it zigzagging. Well, if it's any like some of their fake UFO videos. So did they film it? And probably not. So it's probably too low light. Technology back then would have been pretty bad. Left to right, but this thing was traveling probably about 5 miles on every jump. 5 to 10 miles per second, unbelievable, blah blah blah. So we don't know if this is true or made up, because really you should say, here's the video and play it on your show. Just stored out over the water, and then it's dropped something, and something fell into the ocean, and that just took off. So just like that. The blue UFO, this blue UFO sighting that you were mentioning earlier, when you people said it was that it went over and dropped into the ocean, it brought back memories where, like, that's Brent, that's what we kind of not exactly. This auto transcript is I think is a wee bit munted, but the same kind of object by any means, but still it seems. So you're saying no, that's a different UFO. Anyway, you can go and have a listen to it. Really, they were into ancient bottle collection, digging up dig sites and going to auctions and selling what they found and all that sort of bullshit. I'll give you a link to the Space Out Radio since we used a segment of it. But yeah, I'm not sure if we've covered that before, but it's now recovered. And on to the next topic. Third phase kid story of Grey's is suspect to pull. But anyway, because they can't be trusted. Goofon believes it though. Okay, moving on. Yeah, so lots of other business here. Hidden in plain sight. They've posted up here. Corey Goode's interview with a certain someone has landed him facing contempt of court. I'm sure this is all part of his master plan. I think they're being sarcastic there, I think. And not at all the result of him being a Mr. Magoo level incompetent. So they posted up a screen snapshot from database records where you can look up criminal database. Plaintiff Goode shall appear in person Tuesday, December the 30th. 1:30 PM courtroom, blah blah blah. There you go. And that guy is a moron. The contact gods have smiled upon you. You have plenty to cover in your return show. Once the video game is done, Goode will be in the clear. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Nicole is peed. Anyway, if you've not been following all that stuff on other channels, he tried to sue a lot of people and basically lost. And he's bankrupt pretty much. And he tried to sue people for exposing his grift, the blue chickens, aliens. He had to admit in court that it was made up, fabrication. His secret space program, all made up. And that he hadn't actually been to space at all. It was out of body, astro plane. So yeah, these shills eventually get caught out, but I guess they made lots of good money, like millions of dollars out of it in the process. Stephen Greenstreet. Congressional UFO whistleblower David Grusch kept his security clearance after two violent psychiatric breakdowns with two different wives, which led him being placed in a mental hospital. As originally reported by blah blah blah, law enforcement documents show two of Grusch's wives in 2014-2018 called police for help with their husband. So there you go. Maybe you should have a look at all that. And there's the two wives, I guess. I guess some females just like military men, right? Doesn't matter if they're egghead or scrambled egg, in his case. Abuser, drunk, or whatever. TDS, I suppose. Well, not TDS, although there is a possibility. PDSD is what I was meaning. David details. So he's got a bit of a past on him. a bit like Secure Team. What's the other drama doing the rounds? Why won't it come up? Come on, computer, slow down. Are you going to stay? Will it come back? No. Let's try again. Will it stay? I hope so. Next thing. Brain dead. Zero evidence and fake stories. Feed to him is not proof. Or fed to him. So, this again is about David. I want to state for public record that I fully support and believe, admire, idolize, trust, blah blah blah. David Charles Grusch is the #1 whistleblower and our guardian of disclosure. I've never doubted the man. Now, I believe he might be telling the truth myself. But if he's got these mental breakdowns, it does put into doubt some of his stuff. I think he was fed information, bit like Richard Doty did to that guy, remember? I think he was given documents and stuff that weren't actually true to make him into a disinformation agent. That's my gut feeling. Videos that look maybe convincing, unless you're really a video analysis type person and investigator. I think he believed what he was showing and took copies of some of the stuff and leaked it out to Corbound. That's my gut feeling on it anyway. But yeah, as the people are always going to believe everything, right? Chicken. Alright. So this Charles Weiser, another skeptic debunker like Mick West, has blocked me. Which you never do to other debunkers, right? So this proves that when I tell them about legit stuff and my own experiences, as soon as they hear, they block. Because they can't handle it. Which is a bit unfortunate, really. These people close themselves off, unfortunately. And if they have a major experience later in their life, they'll probably regret what they did, you know. But anyway, best to always stick down the middle and follow the facts. Best I can do. So what he said here without the block, he's talking. I think it's a she, by the way, and they're in Australia. Bloody Aussies. No, they're not all bad. Angelia absolutely did not meet NHI and a base access through a tunnel. Wayne denies digging a tunnel, didn't dig it, doesn't know how. There's no paper trail of the vast expanse. There's no tunnel there. Yet she insists on the fantasy that brought her into ufology in 21. So she's still talking about it, even though she's been caught out. I can't recall what their hands and feet look like. I was aliens. Every time I see them, their distal features are obscured. Well, I can tell you exactly that all I saw was a big alien grey head and the big eyes and the bioluminescent suit or skin they had on. That's all I saw. And I grabbed the hand of the other one, and I can say they were fairly strong. Didn't feel like normal human skin, but I couldn't see what it looked like. I didn't actually see the color of the skin, but I think it was a grey blue. because of the illumination of the light. But things haven't really, more memories haven't come back apart from that. Timelines are getting a bit fuzzy now. That's why I document things, write it down, and know the order of things. I had a long life connection with this NHBN, which I haven't. I still would like to communicate with him and see him again and get something more from him, but I think she was on a lot of painkiller drugs and all the stuff that causes hallucinations, and it can feel real. I'm not saying that she didn't have an experience, but it may not have been a real experience if you ain't got any physical evidence, right? So at least I had a lump that could come up and it had some strange puncture marks. And it's a lump where you can only get your fingertips in. There's no way I could have had a tool to even make holes in my back. Although I could have had someone do it, of course, but again, it's just a matter of trusting the person, I guess, and the overall evidence they provide before and after and since, right? And whether their story changes. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that Charlie Weiser has blocked me there nicely. Stephen Cambian has disappeared, and I believe he might be coming back again. But as you know, his mum had schizophrenia, I think he said, and issues like that. And he's had brain defect as well, where he had an aneurysm in the brain that lost his sight in one eye. But apparently it's returned. Okay, so read here. And of course he's got a son that's also handicapped. But yeah, I won't talk about that. Dispelling the many rumours. I am alive and well. I am home from the hospital after 11 days in ICU and 2 brain surgeries due to a brain hemorrhage and aneurysm. The surgeries were both successful and my long-term prognosis is good. Thanks all the well wishes. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you knew about that or not. I can't say I'm a particular fan of Cambian's, and I don't like what he's doing on his shows. That pork pig roast nonsense about another YouTuber that's maybe dishonest, but it's nothing to do with UFOs or anything. To me, that's just kind of boring, and that's the same thing that UFO, what's his name? Not UFO, Unirock went into. And I think he ended up in court with lawsuits and all that sort of carry on. I think Stephen Cambian's got a few lawsuits with David Wilcock at the moment or whatever. Right, so he gets all these people attacking him. But Eric Burleson, how to watch Age of Disclosure online. No thanks, we found our own way. You hired a mental case to help you find murderous alien space monsters. Great use of taxpayers' money. Yeah, so you're going to hear about that for weeks to come, probably a year, of people quoting it. As I said at the beginning of the show, basically it's a bunch of stuff you've seen on news, reports, interviews, and all sort of clipped and tied together with some extra interviews, but there's no real evidence in it, and it's good for sending you to sleep, basically. Okay, next one. Total bullshit. I said misleading what the rock is. Okay, so let's open up this and see what I'm talking about here. Jesse, what's his name? Aerotech Space. The Paranormal Chris. Jesse Michaels. Now, what's Jesse Michaels? Now, the profile's up top, so we can't see it. Good stuff. Jesse Michaels, what's his bio? Exploring the nature of reality. Right, YouTube. So he's just another YouTube influencer, is it? Where he interviews people. Just a young kid, but like security, trying to make a living without having to flip burgers. Break-in. Swedish treasure hunter Dennis Esberg may have found a 60-meter UFO on the Baltic Sea floor with electromagnetic anomalies, right angles, corridors, and it's not attached to the seabed floor like a normal geological formation. So it goes on here about it. And we've looked at this before, and all the claims, and he's got a full documentary here, which I don't really want to play 3 minutes of it, but we'll play a little start clip of it, I suppose.
There we see a wreck, and there we see...
Is it too loud? I think it is. I forgot to turn it down.
Something there, and then this thing
we got some added music
popping up on the screen.
There you go, you can see where it's going. Commercialized. Anyway, I started looking into it to see if there was any new information. Got to always keep a middle ground on this sort of stuff. But also we now got AI that can help us. So I found this clip here. When was it posted? How can we find out? It's got all that at the bottom. July this year. Baltic Sea Anomaly, Esberg says new data. Okay, we've got some new data, really hard to accept. A scientific paper is coming. He's working with Dr. Beatrice, the one that talked about the 952 slides. So I'll be interested in what comes of that, if anything. So we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Anyway, I'll just play the clip here, intro, whatever it is, a promo.
Dennis Osberg, one of the original explorers behind the Baltic Sea.
It's got some music on it, unfortunately. So I have to pause it every 3 seconds. If it'll let me. Not really. I think when I clicked on it, it mutes it. It's so stupid, some of the systems out there. That's muted it. That's useless. And that's muted it again. Stupid system. How can we do it? Facebook, you suck ass. And that's muted it again. I can't win. I keep clicking by. Keeps going up the top. Right, I got it planned.
Had a hard time accepting all of this. You will understand when the report comes. The full nature of the discovery hasn't. A scientific paper is being prepared in collaboration with Dr. Beatrice Villarroel. Unexplained astronomical phenomena. Time, a new expedition to the Baltic Sea Anomaly. It's backed by the Society for UAP. Use advanced sonar and environmental imaging to object discovered in 2011. discovery is connected to the Baltic structure remains unclear. Not confirmed or denied a link.
Stupid music.
Story now at Above the Norm News.
So they got a new scan of it, basically. And it still looks like a rock. So, what is it? The scientific collision is also involved in it. It can't hurt to get more data on these things, just in case they miss something. But yeah, Facebook sucks. I'm not sure, was it a video elsewhere of it? But anyway, doesn't matter. So I found this article about them losing signal, whether this could be a problem. GPS outages, navigation's nightmare. Global business system is one of the most heavily relied upon aids to navigation. The article considers some of the problems with GPS signals and reminds seafarers of navigational best practices to ensure any GPS problems are less likely to be difficult. So it talks about all the type of errors you get: incorrect installation, user error, atmospherics. Signal from the satellite can also be affected, especially when you're up near the North Pole there, where you get solar radiation, and the magnetic field is a wee bit weaker there, of course. Local issues in some locations in the world, example, poor polar regions. Availability and quality of GPS signals can cause issues. So being up in the North Pole, GPS geo satellites are a wee bit more tricky. Deliberate acts, jamming, spoofing and hacking are also possible malicious actions. As you know, up there is a lot of military bases and also military planes with radio jamming signals. But they claim on the Baltic Sea one it only happened when they were over the rock. But yeah, I have some ideas about that. Always cross-check simple measurements. You know, you can use physical tools to work out a rough location by the stars and whatnot. Best practice. So, there are problems with GPS, as you know, on Skinwalker Ranch as well. Okay, I found this video also. The man who found the Baltic Sea Anomaly just released a massive update. Now tell me that doesn't look like a slab of circular rock on the bottom of the sea. If you can just get rid of the lines, the scan lines there, it's a bit like interlacing video actually, isn't it? And join it all together without the missing bits. You can see it does sort of fit like a pebble on the bottom of the sea that moves along. So they're talking about these straight lines. Now if this is volcanic rock, we know it has like a crystal structure to it. And it does break off in straight lines. And then we're talking about a piece of rock that's being shaped by ice, and it's been millions of years moving on the bottom of the sea, and may have got lodged for some reason there for quite some time. I think they've also said there it was like it was like it was breathing. And I have some theories on that maybe there could be like a thermal vent there, because as you know there's a lot of thermal energy up in the North Pole that they tap into, and lava tubes. So this might have been a rock that eventually got stuck over a lava tube that is still active and is blowing up silt. I think it's in the corridors or something like that. They're calling it breathing, like it's going in and out. And for the magnetic field and the anomalies they're getting, is due to, again, volcanic rock on the sea floor as well as in the rock itself, probably. As you know, molten rock has a lot of iron content in it, and it aligns the magnetic field while it's molten based on the Earth, and it can then move around and act to interfere with compasses. So if that chunk of rock here is magnetized, it creates a magnetic field that can interfere with GPS and electronics and all sorts of things. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a total mystery. It can be debunked. They're taking core samples around it, but I don't know if they're taking any core samples from it yet to be analysed. But the samples they have got show the magnetic properties and what type of rock is in the seabed, I think. Let's see what the update here says.
Celsius.
So yeah. Just play a clip of it. It's 25 minutes long though.
Levels that should not be possible at that depth and in that location, where the surrounding water remained noticeably warmer.
Okay, so that could be again a thermal vent underneath.
In his new statements, Dennis has emphasized another critical point. The object is not fused with the seabed.
Notice how they got the hole there, which could be like a lava tube entrance underneath it.
Sonar and visual inspections convinced the team that
it still looks like a bunch of rocks there, doesn't it? And it looks like typical straight lines you get that you see around volcanic regions where you get the straight lines happening.
It stands on a separate base and is detached from the underlying rock. This alone disqualifies.
So the reason what they talked about is it being like a overcrop. You know how the sort of the millions of years ago there might have been an overhanging rock that sort of broke off, and then the ice just shaped it circular, pushing it along until it eventually went to the sea and started moving with the sea currents and eventually settled. So everything can be explained naturally. It's a bit like the Atlas space rock.
Qualifies many of the early explanations that framed it as an odd but natural rock formation carved by glaciers.
And no, it doesn't. It just means there's more data to look at and to explain.
The surface is far from smooth. The divers saw right-angled edges,
which would make the rock harder to be slid along, and that's probably why it's got stuck as well. Again, it looks like a rock even on that scan there.
Corridor-like features and cut-like shapes that created the impression of a constructed interior.
Now we know let's just type it in and see what we can find. How do you spell it though? Baltic rock, is it? Also I spelled it wrong, but see what it comes up with. Baltic rock, no S in it. Okay, just click on that. You can see anyways kicked in there. Images. And we might be able to see circular things, so there you go. It looks like the bloody thing under the water already, doesn't it? It's got sort of straight lines and curves happening. God, that looks like the thing under the water. Bingo, you know, I didn't even type in anomaly. But that means, if that's another one, it's going to be more than one of these things out of the sea, right? And I believe 1,500 meters away there is another thing that looks identical to it. Like people calling half of a UFO in two locations. There's one rock that looks like it's a triangle. So yeah, winds and ice can shape things like that. And you can see how these outcrops can form. Like this can weird right down, then fall into the sea, and then you got the thing that looks like a flying saucer. You just have to look at other examples, right? There's another one there. It's sort of forming. But we want right angles or something. Let's see what we get with that one. Right angle rocks. Let's see what we get, because it is a bit like crystallized, like sugar. So that could break down to a big UFO. And you can see the size of it there. And you got little triangle rocks here that look like flints. Oh, there you go. Doesn't that look like the Baltic Sea rock? There's the straight lines. Get chunks of that chipping off over time, and you end up with these straight line corridors. Nash Bay. And there's that one there. It also looks like it. So I don't think there's much of a mystery, really. I think we can see examples. Alright, that was just a quick search. So whereabouts was the video going? There was it.
Rather than an eroded lump of stone. Some passages seem to run straight into the mass of the object, giving the unsettling sense that they were observing outer walls and possible entry routes of some kind.
We just saw examples there that could turn into entry points too.
Another pattern Dennis has highlighted is the...
Yeah, so that looks like it's sort of going over an edge of something there. But I think that's a rendering. It's not actually a video. Not actually a factual video.
The way storms seem to gather directly above the location of the anomaly. Over the years, he and others have noticed...
Could be just the area, you know, like where I live. Storms generally go around us here because we're in a dip, and we got the mountain on one side and the hills on another, and somehow it creates like a tunnel. And the storm sometimes misses here where I live. There's going to be a similar thing there with storms and other factors, you know.
Noticed that lightning and heavy weather often concentrate over that portion of the sea.
Again, it's relative to land mass and heating, air currents and all that sort of stuff, and even solar winds.
As though something beneath the waves is interacting with the atmosphere.
You can see how these shield channels suck you in. Unsolved mysteries. 2 million subscribers. Oh, what's happened? Gonna push the wrong button accidentally. Yeah. So I don't think I'll play much more of that. But I'm not sure if that's the one that talks about the breathing. Let's see what the next thing is. No, that's something else coming up. Okay, I might have just missed it, I don't know. Let's bring up the transcript of it anyway. And we'll have a look that way. Let's search on keywords. Where's the transcript? There. Control F. Breathing. Got one reference, okay. And then expelled again. Here we go. 3 minutes in, so we go back there.
energetic sense. Through openings in its surface, he believed he saw clouds of fine sediment moving inward and outward rhythmically, like inhalation.
Which sounds like a lava tube vent, doesn't it? Thermals. Pulsing with maybe tides. So the tide at one end of where it's sucking in the water and making it hot is then being pumped out that hole there. So yeah, there's a lot more explanation to do. I'll give a link to this anyway and you can have a watch of it. But yeah, it's doing the rounds at the moment, maybe because of the Swedish woman being involved in it now. And this guy, Jesse, doing an interview with him. But yeah, it's interesting, but I think it's going to be explained, especially if they get more data done there. It's going to be a bit like the space rock in space. It's got anomalies that's not normal, and there's some strange stuff that happens in different places in the world, as you know, the South Atlantic anomaly, the Baltic Sea Anomaly, and they're all over the place. Skinwalker Ranch anomalies. Right. But if some new great information comes to hand, we will change our opinion on that and look at it again. That's what's good about keeping an open mind. Gotta run, it's football time. Oh no. Is that why people are not showing up? That's what they want you to do. That's how they control you with sports and watching sports. It's all mind control. Anyway, hopefully you'll come back and watch the rest of it anyway. Did I post that? I didn't know. Maybe I didn't. Okay, hit send. It normally clears it. Yeah, okay, now it is. So how many got people left? Are you all sports fans? 13. We've got slightly more now. Okay. Cool. Goody shoe drum drops. Hope you're enjoying what we're doing so far anyway. And we're done with that one. What an Aussie clown. So who could I be talking about here? Oh, right. Ross Promotes, and he's deleted this post, unfortunately. I was going to mock it, but lucky enough, I had backup copies this time. Let's see, what's the next one? Yeah, so I had the backup copy of the post he was talking about, saying it was amazing evidence, and it wasn't. So let's just go over it now. And this guy's been giving me a wee bit of heartache on X as well because of my comments. I'm only being honest about it. I've been looking at this stuff every day for 9 years. So let's display this under fair use and give my criticism to it. Now, always we find that these people don't use the real-time tracking apps, and as you know, satellites is a wee bit more difficult because there are some unlisted satellites that the government have, including what we call spy satellites, and also they're able to hide themselves on flight radar tracking apps as well. Okay, let's display it and have a look. And it's going to have music, of course. Now, this guy here is another group of sky watchers. I can't remember what they call themselves, but...
How you feeling, mate?
Now you're crapping your pants. Now he claims to be a summoner. What do you call it? Psionics nonsense. And looks like it's on colour night vision here, is it?
I'm feeling good now. A lot better.
Now you can see stars in the background, a mountain range.
Everybody's
Got the creepy music and everybody's staring at the sky.
up here, all set up. We got all kinds of tripods and night vision and thermal.
Yeah, but you know, the problem with filming stuff near the horizon is where you're always going to get flares from satellites, right? It's not like if you're going to summon a UFO, you want it to land like 3 feet away, no further, 300 feet away, closer the better, of course, and on multiple cameras, and then you got something. But dots in the sky doesn't do much for me. Oh, here we go. As soon as I do that. This is why I hate X video system. It's just crap. Same as Facebook, actually.
How you feeling, Mike?
How you feeling, Mikey?
I'm feeling good now. A lot better.
I had a big poo in my pants. I feel better. Everybody's looking.
Up here, all set up. We got all kinds.
They should invite Tyler from Secureteam there. And split cousins.
And tripods and night vision and thermal. Going right now.
What's that big bright light there? Is that the sun going down? Or coming up? Or is it the moon? Alright, so we start to see things move. And we got the boom boom music, and we don't know if this is in real time or time lapsed. But we know satellites move about that speed, some of them anyway. And they're shining a laser at it. And we've seen this before, many times before. Stuff on the horizon often turns out to be Starlink now, or some form of satellites. And you can see they come those directions there, they're always in a straight line, that straight line there. They always seem to be in the same path. And we know Starlink goes in grids like that, and they haven't filled in all the shells. And they're going grids like that, going this way, going that way, because the Earth's curved. I reckon these are all Starlink satellites, flaring as they get closer to the horizon. And it's been sped up. A wee bit, maybe. Now, just to prove a point. I repeat what I showed you in previous live shows talking about people filming satellites, where you can use the app to simulate and highlight some of the satellites in the space. And you can see it has the same sort of pattern.
Low Earth orbit.
Another Scotsman. Not sure if it's the same one we used them before or not. Scots. But anyway, this is a simulation. And as you know, you can pick certain brightness of satellites that you can see with your eye or camera, and you can speed it up.
Between
and
low Earth orbit and geostationary orbit, we find
this is what it looks like. Satellites moving.
A lot of navigation satellites, like GPS.
And like you got sun going this direction, some going that direction. I don't know if this included Starlink here. What year was this one? But it's a really good example he's made up here, so we're using it again. 1.2 million views 6 years ago. 2 million subscribers. Amazing. What year was it? 6 years ago, so that makes it 2019. I think Starlink were starting to be added about then.
Or the European Galileo system. Or the Russian GLONASS.
So you got less coming this way now.
And the Chinese Beidou network.
There's one going that way.
But most of the objects flying by quickly are in low Earth orbit. So in this orbit, there's things...
Yeah, I'll give a link to it since we used it. It's a really good example of what that guy was filming. So for now, you got Starlink satellites, right? Always learning. Always use the apps. Paths of sets near horizon. Don't know about you, but dots in the sky don't inspire me. I have actually filmed a couple interesting dots in the sky myself, but it's not as good as the other footage that we've got of close up stuff from other people, as well as some from my own cameras. But the portal was interesting that I saw, and the thing that moves so fast and it's really tiny compared to a star was quite interesting. And it clearly wasn't on the plane tracking app, so I don't know what it was, but it could be our technology. And the portal could even be our technology being tested. So yeah. There's Starlink or satellite tracking of some sort there. And I'll post a link to this guy's one so you can watch it fully. He might have other footage there. Emulation. Same as Skywatcher. Now I can show you all the argument we've been having with him, but I'm not sure if it's really worth it. But it'll be on that post, I think. Let's have a look. Come on, open up. Let's have a look. That's it. That's it, the one. I think I was talking about it on the Ross Promotes page. That's got deleted. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. But if I go, yeah, probably got all sorts of people. Here he is here. So this was at 2 o'clock in the morning, just before I need to get away and get ready for the live show. See, now I have you focusing on yourself, own work instead of mine. Now I know he didn't actually look at the stuff I gave him. He's another one of these guys, and he's trying to attack me for what I was saying about them being satellites. Stupid really, but anyway, that's what we get. And I said here, not just my work, mine with others I have vetted or gotten from Isle of Mufon. Have a listen to his story and his mum's. And his mum, she was an amazing lady who tells the story of underground base and meeting Von Braun there for a special presentation. You were like, I was 1 or 3 at the time. He told this too, and his abduction account where his wife was a witness to it. Well, 2 a.m. heading to bed. Those will keep you busy if interested in aliens and UFOs, the real stuff, Paul. Not flipping dots in the sky. And this morning I checked and I know he didn't watch anything like a silly idiot, silly boy. Now, all of you can find this on my home tab under maybe best episodes or something like that. Or Earl Grey or playlist. But anyway, I'm not going to share it. It's up to you. So have a look. Okay, now you're talking more like a friend. I wouldn't say that. I'm always try to be helpful person. And I try to back up my claims with my videos, but they never watch them. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But down here, he was attacking me, just like most of these people tend to do if they get criticized. So I'll just go through that, alright. So I think it starts off here. It started off after me saying it looks like satellites, blah blah blah, and he's come back with this. I will bury all you cucks under mountain of data and footage so deep your grandmother would choke on it. Now, does that sound like someone with a sound state of mind? It doesn't, does it? I tried to keep up. Somebody has to dig to get the needle in the haystack. All you guys do is sit at home complaining about other people are doing the work. Keep watching. And what did I say to that? That triggered him even more. I said, sounds like a mental issue. Nope, I research and have good captures up close. I don't need to hear BS and see dots. Oh, you mean this channel where you can only get 35 views on your videos? If you had anything good to offer, you wouldn't be dead in the water. Yeah, and I haven't given up either. Most people give up if they can't make the money they want out of it. They want a nice, easy lifestyle. Real stuff, you don't have an easy lifestyle because people are not interested in the real truth. They're interested in confirmation bias, where they get their own real world views approved their way. Can't even get 100 people to care about your trash. Hey man, I'm shaking in my boots though. Now, he didn't actually even watch these, obviously. And they're not trash, as you know. And the cat video there. So he didn't watch any of that. More replies. No, mate, I mean, learn how to use YouTube and head to the home tab and scroll down. I know how to sort by popular. Your only video with any views is about Swamp Bigfoot, which was a test video to see if I could get through the censorship of Google, and it did. And I got something like 20,000 views or something crazy on it, wasn't it? Well, anyway. It didn't mount to many subs from it, but I did get a few, I think. And I haven't managed to get many videos through Google's defenses, where they block UFOs, aliens, and ghosts unless you're a huge creator or mainstream media. And I think I even said some stuff underneath this one. Okay, because of the stupid commentary, we have to click there. I said here I was skeptical of alien visit once. Like most, when it happens, you dismiss it as a dream until more stuff happens. Or you just say it's a dream so people don't mock or attack. It was my later daytime visits around noon and before I had cameras set up in the house that confirmed things. So I'm trying to get across to this guy that I'm not some stupid person sitting at home doing nothing. Okay, now you are talking more like a friend, so that's where he dives off there. But yeah, I can't seem to... Oh. There's that stupid function again. Can't seem to find where I said to him about the suppression. Where's the thing where I talk about? It's probably been deleted. Was it underneath this one? We'll find it eventually. Oh, here we go. You see what I mean? You don't see this because it doesn't sort of say there's more comments and put at least a single line to it. It needs to be done a lot better on X or Twitter. Google suppresses my channel because I expose truth on the topic. And shills making millions from it. They're cash cows like Security. So, because I attack their cash cow, I get suppressed. I have alt media accounts. I get like 500 views on first airing across all domains. Give or take 3 days to 5 days though. Does eventually get there. But I'd actually say more. And he kept on going. But anyway, you get the idea. This is the sort of stuff I have to put up with all the time. So yeah, sounds a bit unhinged there. Then it attacks me there. And that's where I talk about being suppressed, and he reckons I'm not. I did actually say somewhere, have a look at my shorts then, and you'll see anything to do with UFOs gets hardly any views. But all my dog and cat videos go hundreds to thousands of views. Shows that they don't suppress that and promote it. I've been on YouTube since 2009 and nobody's suppressing you. Well, that's also another factor. Anyone that joins the channel, you see that my name on the channel has actually got 2016, the year I started. Anyone before then got approved on YouTube instantly and got monetized. I had to prove myself because they brought in the new rules then, and they brought in the new censorship then. Your content just stinks. He hasn't watched any of it. I know he hasn't watched any of it. My content does not stink. That's just not true. The algorithm is based on viewer engagement. No, it's not. Just have a look at my shorts. People click away. Well, I can't help short attention spans. If they want the truth, you gotta listen to things. They spend hours listening to talking heads. They watch the 2-hour Age of Discovery nonsense. Why can't they watch my stuff? And not even give them chapters and topics and visuals and proof videos like I've done today and before. So yeah, I'm done with that. Done with that guy. If you look at him though, see what he's done. Tattoos. Cole the Crusher and Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. So he's another one of these drips on Beyond Skinwalker Ranch that we've exposed. Alright, UFO mysteries. Is that Skinwalker Ranch? Let's see. It blows my mind that people still use blurry photos. Well, still blows my mind that people still put up bloody dot videos. There you go. 2022. My team captured a critical set of experiments at a location just 100 miles away from Area 51, previously owned by Bigelow. Here we go. Psionic contact methods. Skinwalker rat. So that's just a bunch of bollocks as far as I'm concerned. If you can communicate with aliens, then you should be able to get them to show themselves and actually get some good HD camera angles of it all. But as I told him, aliens do not come dancing like you a dog whistle. If you ask them nicely, and tell them what you want and what time of day you want them to show, just like they did with me, they might show up and give you a awakening. And if he's been microchipped, that always helps too. Anyone can see. Here we go. Anyone can contact NHI. Yeah, we can just bring up JetTT, and we're talking to a non-human intelligence. Yes, that's what AI is about. But yeah, anyway, you can see where this guy's heading. Dr. Greer, believer maybe. I think you end up less open-minded on this sort of stuff. What's going on here? Something strange going on with my cursor already. You can see what's going on. I'm going to have to reset the magnifier, I think. Yeah, there was a name of a group of people that they call themselves. I can't remember what it was now. Let's just reset this magnifier. How we going out there, guys? You still with us? Must be doing a few hours by now. Must be almost time to end, actually. 3 hours and 20 minutes, is it? Anyway, going through the tabs here and what I got lined up for you. I'm not sure if we're going to have any time left for other stuff. Mick West, we might come back to him in a minute. He's been posting a few things lately. Third phase, I think we might have to skip this time. And viral videos. It's amazing how much time we spend on this stuff. Well, it's been now 3 weeks, and Michael King has not been around, so I've not been getting any money from this, by the way. And as I said, there might be a case where I may not show up on a weekend because I can't afford to pay the bills. So just be aware of that. Like I said, no one cares what I have to percent here, but I percent it anyway, and I know a few hundred people will be watching it eventually. You can see they haven't put up anything new there. Let's just reload that just to check. No. We've still got loads of stuff there that we can go through. But not today. Okay, so what's these other tabs I got here? I think it was other stuff. Let's see. Let me guess. Joe Biden was a mice being tested in this case. So this was quite funny. This is one of these AI robots, non-human intelligence, that walks just like Joe Biden. I thought that was hilarious. Going down a slope or stairs. Walking like he shit his pants. Hey, Joe Biden. I think that'd be a good name for the first robot, actually. Biden. Biden series. But you can see how this could be very scary in the future. If it can be put some sensors on there, it detects human life and has a gun, it can just go around killing things. Terminator is not far away. Is it still going to go? Let's have a look. Does it fall over? No, not going to show us anymore. I thought that was funny though. Does walk like Joe Biden. And yeah, this is quite interesting too, about the Ukraine. We don't hear much about it anymore. Ukraine sent special forces which tried to hide from drones by not moving. This trick doesn't work on thermal vision. They just stand still and are hit by Russian drones. So the drones just zoom into it and explode, right? This is one of the videos. So that's them standing still, one person. Hoping it flies past. Straight into the back of them. Anyway, yeah. So, need better technology to fool the drones, I guess. And I know they're working on that. I think the Americans and the Israelis have active cloaking on that side of things. But anyway, Ukraine haven't got that technology. I've just watched this a few times. Now, what was that? Oh, yeah, this is quite interesting. It's nothing to do with UFOs or anything, or paranormal, but it's a Halloween, and the bear comes along looking for food, obviously. Just have a watch of this. You may have seen it. That's quite hilarious and scary. I don't know if it's AI, but I could see that actually being real. You know, come along, stiffen something that triggers by motion. See, so this makes the screaming sound and lights, and the bear falls over backwards. So, but you can see the one swipe with the claw in your history. I got you. You ever seen that one with the little toy dog, a pocket dog, and a baby cub climbs over the fence in the yard, and the little pocket dog? I think I've shown it. That was a hilarious one too. Scares off the bear when the bear could just swiped it and eaten it. A brave little dog. Yeah, Mick West, what's he been up to? They're just rounded off today, I think. Yeah, what's he got here? So, chemtrails are not real. They're misidentified contrails. So he's talking about the Tucker Carlson interview. Yeah. Where Tucker seems to believe everything nowadays, unfortunately. He's posted something here, a fake account of Alex, whatever it is, D large. Age of disclosure, they played the bird flying with no A10 video. With an A18 video. So Mick West did analysis of the stabilizing it. And you can see a little black dot or something flapping its wings. And that flies along this path here. So it's obviously something close to the camera. And nothing even remotely close to the A10 fighter jets. Now this is what this guy watches often put up crap now. A bit like the dots in the sky, right? Now I don't remember seeing it on Age of Disclosure, but it could have been on there. I fell asleep a couple of times, and it's just unbearable. It's like being tortured, to me anyway. It was. Apparently the US Patent Office is changing the way they do things, and this person and Mick West is scared that patents can't be challenged if they do change it. Blah blah blah. UFO disclosure should start with solid evidence of actual events. Now, I've talked about this before. Aliens make it very hard to document things when they're up close. Unless they're caught out. And as I said, they muck around with our technology. So to get really good solid evidence is very hard. It's the sort of thing you're going to have to experience yourself to really change your world's view on things. And of course, they don't come to everybody. And you've got to associate with the right people, and you sometimes have to go out and look for it. But there are researchers out there that have found it, and they regret having done so. Because what they found out is too scary even for them to comprehend, and they quit being researchers and go back to normal life to try not to attract it to them, the scariness and darkness of it all. Now, that's possibly because some of the aliens are not all good intention things, right? Entities like humans. If you go and look for criminals on the dark web, you're going to get a really good scare, I think. So yeah, it's the same sort of thing, right? There's good and bad, and humans and races, and same it would be for aliens, I'd say. Anyway, Ross Cohart again. What's he talking about here? Age of Disclosure nonsense. It's basically a change sheet according to Ross. It's more about accountability. Well, if it was about accountability, they had Sondo on it quite a lot. And we know his bad history he's got. Fake images that he's been promoting in private events. So he didn't get found out until someone leaked a video from one of the private events. So yeah, I think we talked about this last time about the planes. Remember that drone panic in Europe? It increasingly looks like there were never any drones. All the evidence so far points towards misidentifications. So, I guess you can read that language. That was him simulating a flare glare, wasn't it? Some people were concerned that the glare in James artifact drill video. Okay, he's talking about that James guy. Might be CGI, so I thought I'd compare it to the knowing glare. You see similar diffraction spike. Okay, so that must be the guy with the torch, James, in the cylinder. Talking about the spike here being the same as that spike there, I guess. Anyway, he hasn't made it really clear. Still obviously fake though. So he obviously hasn't heard that he's confessed it as a hoax. Anyway. A comedy of errors here is the ATC recording of the November 6th Golden Bun drone incident synced to Psych Rec. The pilot on the ground is on Brussels flight SN blah blah blah. The last to land before the closure. He is watching LH24 which was diverted after being mistaken for the drone. So he actually caused people not to be able to land at the airports because he didn't have any of the apps up and running, which is the problem with Skywatchers and then phoning the control tower. Ufologists admit there's no real video evidence of UFOs. No, I haven't said that. I said I've got a couple. We should just trust in the stories. At what point will people realize that if you never see any evidence, then the stories are worthless? Chris Lato. Yeah, I don't like either of those clowns. Let's move on. Another case solved with Psych Wreck. The ones in New York above 100% aircraft coming into LaGuardia. Again, drones videos debunked. Okay. And Ross Cohart is the one promoting it on News Nation a lot about the drones. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna give up. I think that's where we got to last time. I don't think there's anything else here we need to really look at. Yeah, we got there last time. So you can watch last weekend's video. And I need to get a drink and whatnot. And my nose is now blocking up, so getting a really dry mouth. Bledsoe. Okay, that's it. We've gone through all that. And we're coming up to 4 hours now, so it's time to wrap up. And before we come up to 4 hours, plasma awards, maybe another day. And more third phase. And what's currently on Reddit at the moment. Let's have a quick look. George Bush knew about contact between CIA and aliens in '64. Age of disclosure, blah blah, here we go. Breaking deep state trashing. Age of disclosure on Wikipedia. Oh no, not everyone being critical on a crappy movie. A lot of these people on Reddit are part of the machine, though. They're hired by these shills to go out there and cause mayhem and troll people. Age of disclosure, blah blah blah. Remote viewer, deep dive, blah blah. Oh no, Atlas is still doing the rounds. And there's Grusch looking a wee bit different there. Has he put on some weight again? Historical. Grushi. It's all the same stuff. Joe Rogan. Okay, we talked about that last weekend too. And that's only repeating again. 12 hours ago. Unbelievable. People are way behind. Should be watching my stuff. Most of this stuff you can skip. Wasting time on. Everybody's, oh, agent disclosure. You're going to be disappointed. UFO flap. That one might be okay. Men in Black. Yeah, we've talked about the Men in Black in the past, how it started, and that also breaks into EVPs, the paranormal side of things. That's how the guy was communicating with aliens through the radio devices. What was his name now? Bender. Google, type in the word Bender into my search term, and you'll find the videos on him. Quite interesting though, if you've not heard the story of Bender and how he started talking to aliens in New York, I think it was, or somewhere near New York. Was it Detroit? Can't remember now. So much stuff to remember, and some stuff you forget. Okay, I think we're done. Non-human intelligence. No one talks about AI though. And of course that makes more sense. Aliens may not be showing up, but their non-human intelligence might be robots. And of course that gives something the military to reverse engineer too. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it anyway. There's a lot to go through there. You got those little video links you can look at yourself. Still haven't gone up in subs since last weekend. So we keep bashing at it. Hopefully I can keep going. And my health has gone down a wee bit lately. But anyway. So good night. All, hope to see you again soon, and take you on the roads, especially over Christmas. Okay, we're done here. Any questions now before we sign off? It's your last opportunity. Make sure to like and share. By hitting a like, it tells people that it's well worth sitting through the 4 hours. Not the 2 hours like Age of Disclosure, but I will be bookmarking stuff with timestamps in a day or so with chapters, so you can go back to where you may have stopped and carry on from. And if you're new to it, you better use the chapters to have a quick look what we talk about before you start watching, and so on. And my nose is blocking up and it's getting harder to talk. Okay, it looks like no one's going to say anything here, so you could say good night though if you wanted to before it's too late. I'm just going to shut down now. What do we get? 6 likes on Pilled. Thanks guys, that really helps. 6 on YouTube at the moment. We've not had our usual people watching though, our usual regulars. I don't know why, but anyway, it is what it is, and fight for another day. And let's just wind it down. And here we go, hopefully. Got the volume right. Yep, all good. Dreamweaver. I certainly needed one last night. Dreamweaver. Help me through the night. If you don't know what I'm talking about, have a watch of last weekend show at the beginning. Great song. Help me through the night is not one of the lyrics though, but I reckon it should have been one of the lines. They had similar lines to that. Anyway, I gotta end it now. No doubt people will start watching it once I put chapters. Anyway, it doesn't matter.